Party politics now. The disciplinary hearing against the Presidential Spokesperson Khusela Diko and former Gauteng Health MEC Bandile Masuku is expected to take place today. It was postponed last week as parties requested documents and records. Diko and Masuku, you'll remember, were implicated in the PPE scandal that rocked Gauteng. Diko was put on suspension while Masuku was fired by the Gauteng Premier. Reporter Siphamandla Goge is following that story for us. Sipha, good afternoon to you. So first of all, let's just get some clarity on timeline here. When is the hearing?
For now, we don't know. It was meant to be today. We understand that all parties met last week Friday. We understand that Khusela Diko and Bandile Masuku requested for more information and documentation from the ANC in Gauteng in order for them to prepare for their disciplinary hearings. They were furnished with that information. As we speak now, there is no set date for that DC. We understand that the date will be set on Thursday, the 21st of January. It's another delay, but we'll only know on Thursday. Let's listen to the Provincial Secretary of the ANC in Gauteng, Jacob Kawe, explaining.
The DC started in December with the normal pre-hearings where all parties make their demands in terms of the process. And then it was then scheduled formally to start on the 14th of January. And just before it started, the alleged PC members had requests, which are fair requests, of additional information. They would have made a point that they do have the PC decision and they do have the PIC report. But there was additional work that was done by the Provincial Secretary and the Provincial Treasurer, Comrade Pakstow, and they were requesting the details of that work because that work would have assisted us in taking the PC decision, and they didn't have that record. They've also made a request of other additional information, which we had requested sometime as the ANC to actually consult as to whether should we give them all what they are requesting, because some of those things that they request, we don't think they're necessary for the disciplinary process to go ahead. Nonetheless, all parties agreed that we would give each other until the 19th to compile all the documents, and then that on the 21st we will set new dates to start the hearing. So the hearing is on course.
I think I'm correct in saying, Sipha, that Masuku is challenging the SIU report in court. Surely the ANC could wait for that outcome before proceeding with the DC.
Interestingly, on Thursday, the very same day that the ANC and all parties involved will set the date for the disciplinary hearing, is the day that we understand that Bandile Masuku will be going to court, or his application for review of that SIU report is set to be listened to in court. So some people are saying it would have been better for the ANC to wait for that court process and the outcome before disciplining him. But the ANC in Gauteng is adamant that their disciplinary hearing against Dr. Bandile Masuku has got nothing to do with the SIU report. They say with that legal challenge, they are still going ahead. Let's listen to Kawe explaining again.
We have charged Comrade Bandile with the constitutional clause, Rule 25, of bringing the ANC into disrepute. And that will stand. And the decision to appoint an MEC, it's a political decision. The Premier does take that decision and consult with the party as to whether you want to appoint or reappoint somebody. It's a matter that we would await if the Premier has such a thinking and that he comes to the ANC to consult. But as far as the ANC is concerned, deployment is not really a matter of whether you are guilty or not guilty in court. Deployment is a matter of political leadership at that particular time, given the circumstances. And for now, I doubt whether the Premier will come to us with such a request.
So then it begs the question, what is the status of Khusela and Diko in the PEC, and is it true then that they've been barred from attending such meetings?
ENCA understands from our sources that yes, indeed, the two have been barred from attending PEC meetings. We did ask the ANC Provincial Secretary in Gauteng, Jacob Kawe, to explain that, because those who are close to the duo argue that it's illegal to bar them from attending PEC meeting because they were not suspended, but they were asked to step aside. But the ANC in Gauteng says, listen, there is nothing wrong with that. We took a decision and asked them not to participate in PEC meetings up until their matter is finalized. It's in the best interest of the ANC and those accused parties. Let's listen to them explaining again.
The constitution of the ANC and the practice is that when your name and your matter is subject to a discussion, a member is asked to recuse himself or herself, or the chairperson must ask the member to excuse the meeting. And basically the meetings that we have had so far were the meetings that were making a reflection on both these matters. But subsequent to that is that the PEC weekend last week formalized its decision that it would be advisable to advise both comrades not to attend PEC meetings until this matter is being resolved. This is in the interest of the members. It's also in the interest of the collective of the PEC. And I want just to make a typical example, which I did explain to comrades themselves, Comrade Bandile and Comrade Khusela, is that as long as this matter is still part of any meetings, any records, when you arrive at the minutes and the matters arising, you would of course have to start on this matter. And in that way, they would have to be excused. And for their own interest and integrity, we're advising them that it's better to allow this process to go, and until you are cleared or whatever decision that is taken by PC. So it's a matter of political management. It's not an issue of legality, rights or no, or suppression of rights. It's about protecting everybody. But the PC this weekend has resolved that the comrades would be advised not to participate up until this matter is resolved.